Welcome back to action from the Womza National Rally Championship. It's COVID Cup round number 1. We're heading into stage number 3 now. It's Wally number 2. And big thanks to Pan Solutions and all our associate sponsors for this action. As we go on board with our helicopter courtesy of PC Transport. Once again looking at Jabir and Kutsia, but they're battling a little bit. As you can see, it's only rear-wheel drive available now on the Yaris. And it sounds like they might be having a little bit more technical issues out there as well. That thing not firing like it was earlier on. See if we can keep it all together though. They will certainly push to the limit to try and stay in the rally right to the end. Doesn't look too bad when it's flat out. It's in the trickier stuff and the twistier bits that it sounds a little bit off, but we'll keep an eye on it heading into these final bits of the day's racing. Strauss and Fenter haven't put a wheel wrong so far, and so far so good, have led out after every single one of the stages that we've had today. They're looking pretty tasty here for Wally 2 as well. They're going to stay at the front end of this field. Subaru is going well, and leaving some big rooster tails as well there for our camera action. Pomp and Thompson going as always, smooth and steady and as consistent as ever. Rinus Plomp has won a lot of races due to his consistency as opposed to the all-outright speed of his vehicles. These cars that he builds really are proven to be some of the best in the country when it comes to the Subaru brand. Bernard and Manette are pushing hard, and in fact the way they're going, there's a very good possibility they could end up on even times with the Subaru. They're going as well as those cars out front, and this is great to see. They're not giving up the fight and starting to become a threat in Class A. Walter and De Villiers missed out ever so slightly in the second stage, so they're looking to make up ground now. And they'll be pushing it to the limit in the 666 and see if they can beat out the 444 of Bottas and McCarthy. Just put them to the line in stage 2. Speaking of that car, here it comes. You can see now with that side-by-side how well that suspension works. Looks like it's not even moving, but that is a pretty rough road. I mean, they've been really well graded, and the farmers and everybody behind the scenes have done an incredible job to give us great rally roads. But there's still going to be some bumps and yumps that you have to be aware of. You have to be more aware when you're in a slightly lower vehicle like this one. De Bruyn and Jordan, though, are not holding back. Pushing that 350Z way beyond the limits of what it was originally made for. Well, speaking of way beyond the limits, that's not quite where you want to go, the Fenters. Fortunately, though, survived that one. Could have been a little bit more ugly there had they got a little bit more out of shape. Reineke and Ackerman are having an absolute blast out there. The 69 car showing that they've got a little bit of a naughty side to them as well. And that's the kind of naughtiness we like to see in rallying. Get the back end out. Smooth sailing from them so far. Whatever the issue was on Sartan and Duprea's Golf, it's sorted. And they're definitely back in the running for Class C Honours. Like they were just battling a little bit earlier on in the day, but they've got it a little bit more dialed in now. And seeming like they could be a contender for Class C Honours at the end of the day. Marty Boersen and Johan Smit pushing it well at this point in time. Great to see them in the second of those Ford Escorts. The GX Coupe, as always, a fantastic vehicle to watch. And if you ever get out to one of these events, do yourselves a favor, go and have a chat to these two youngsters. Certainly going to be the future of rallying in this country if it keeps going the way they're going. Lots of experience despite their age. The Pallas Motorsport team now coming into sight yet again. Looks like also a little bit of issues there, not quite going on the same kind of pace as earlier on. This car certainly has picked up the pace. Christo and Joanne pushing it to the limit now and way over it. They were just taking it a little bit easy in the first stage, just getting to grips with that new car, making sure there were no niggles, and it seems to be sorted out now. And being closed down now via the two Sandmaster drivers. Let's catch up with Tiens Jabir.
Alright, so this is us for this event. We've had a couple of technical gremlins with this car. The first loop of stages we lost the drive shaft in the front. And we were in rear-wheel drive for the stages, but yeah, we still enjoyed it. It was excellent, and now we had a technical problem or electrical problem with the fuel pumps, so we can't continue. And yeah, we're actually very sad that we can't finish this event. An excellent event, great roads. We really enjoyed it. Thanks a lot.
Results of that stage going to a tie between Strauss and Fenter and the Johnsons, as we expected, and then very close there between the two side-by-sides. That battle is on big time. Fifth place goes to Plomp and Thompson, and the Fenters come through. We head into Obos 2 now, 13.68 Ks, a special stage yet again. And Scrapcore on the sidelines here will be helping us out through this stage. There's the sweep vehicle just coming through from Ermelo Toyota. A big thanks to them again for all their support and for continued support of the Womza series. This National Rally Championship is certainly turning out to be something pretty spectacular, as is this car, who now leads all on his own. Johann Strauss really doesn't have much competition left other than the Johnstons. Now they're the only contenders who can possibly spoil the day, and we're in Ermelo Toyota country, so a Hilux taking this victory would certainly make the sponsors happy, but it's highly unlikely with the way that this car is going. Fenter and Strauss, and that's the way you get a Subaru through a rally stage. Renusplom trying to do the same thing, as I said, with a slightly heavier vehicle, the Forester, not quite built for original rally conditions, but great to see that he's put one into rally trim. And now moving up into a potential second or third place there for him too. So nice to see that Plump is starting to become a threat at the front end, but he's got the two Can-Ams to deal with as well before he can get into the top three. RSI Auto Body Subaru Forester taking on the Johnstons in the Hilux. As I said, we had a tie for first place in that previous stage. Can they find something special and possibly go even quicker this time out? It's very close at this point. Probably only a couple of seconds between the two lead cars. It's just little niggles and little mistakes and little wrong lines and possibly a little bit of wheel spin coming out of certain corners. That'll be the difference between the Subaru and the Hilux. Can-Ams are so evenly matched. The prep that's gone into these two cars is very, very good. And they also haven't put a wheel wrong, which is great to see. Great to see that they've also given the Can-Am side-by-side vehicles, the off-road trucks and the off-road special vehicles, a chance to go head-to-head with rally cars. I don't normally get to see that in other forms of motorsport in this country or anywhere around the world. Cortes and Marzarko going as pushing it to the limit, but maybe battling a little bit here. I think there might be a turnaround here from the 666 taking on the 444. So those two are going at it big time. Kosel is just finding his way into Obos 2 now to see if they can find something special by the end. DeBrain and Jordan also looking pretty good. See them using a little bit of extra of the road. And watching those notes, you don't want to be hitting no-cut corners when it's cutting corners, etc., etc. Listen to the navigator's notes. Ensure you don't make any of those vital mistakes. Christo's giving Rocky all of those very crucial notes that'll get him through this. And he gets it sideways for us as well. That's great to see. Nothing like an original version of the Escort rally car lit up with a big rooster tail. And that's exactly what they're doing. Kali van der Merwe and Willem Morgan now pushing it to the limit. They are really going well. Starting to open up a commanding lead here and possibly an opportunity to catch up to the Ackerman and Reinecker battle, because those two are leading Class C. They're trying to close them down for the Class C honours at the end of the day. Just behind them, the second of those Nissan Sentras. Then it's Nati Boyson and Johan Smit coming into the gate turn. A lot of guys will be wary about coming into a corner that has a gate in it. Some might get it a bit sideways, some will take it a little bit more gentleman-like. That's exactly what Nati did. Don't expect it to get a little bit gentlemanly now. No, this is probably going to be a little bit sideways from Unruh and Joanna. Yes, there you go, exactly what we expected. Just putting that little GX Coupe perfectly through the two gate posts. And now back into the thick of it. The problem that we're having right now, of course, is the wind has died down slightly. So that big ball of dust is sitting in some of those corners. You can actually see the remnants there of the two cars before coming through, before Palace Motorsport came into the corner, and battles a little bit with vision. It will do the same to the return there for the two Fenters coming from behind. Using a little bit more of the road and some more as well. On the inside of that corner and just getting a little bit of a squared up line into that little chicane. Good line through there actually. We've seen this car hit the curbs a couple of times today and survive. Can't push it too much though, because our cameras don't catch you. Jan and his cameras will certainly catch you making mistakes. Into the gate turn, the Fenters now. It's a great line there from the Conquistadore. Old Taz is finding a perfect line through the gate. Oh, the big Capri might find it a bit more difficult to get through that little gap. Not finding it too difficult. What he is finding it though is Christo is getting into the thick of the dust, which means he's catching the car in front of him, and you can see the dust just sitting there all the time. They make it very difficult for visibility. Doesn't look too bad with the cameras, but actually on the ground or in the cockpit, you're going to find it exceptionally difficult to see. Inside line there from Johan Becker. And a thumbs up from Sean Kruger as he came past seeing our cameraman. Goes through the gate, no problems at all. Lit up through the S-bend, heading up onto this top straight. Looks like that Sandmaster slowly but surely becoming a top 5 contender here for Class A. It's just inside the top 10 overall as well as we sit going into the stage. Bob and Tash is once again just battling a bit. Not quite on the same kind of pace we saw earlier on. They got that whatever the first niggle was sorted out, and it seems to have come back. Not quite firing like it was. End of the stage though, Obos 2 goes to Strauss and Fenter. Clean sweep so far from them, but only a few seconds adrift there from the Johnstons. Then Boertes and McCarswell beating out Walter and De Villiers, Plomp and Thompson, and then it was a great drive from De Bruyn and Jordan to get in the top 6. Join us off the break for more action.